Here we go, Caesar. Time for another video. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is the Reluctant Gringo back with another topic. It's almost time for us to witness the beginning of a process that is more entertaining than the Super Bowl and filled with more cringe than a Hollywood award ceremony. That's right, it's primary season. Both the Republicans and the Democrats will begin their tournament of champions to crown their very own finalists, those who will vie for the presidency of the United States. Don't know who all the candidates are? That's okay, no one does. But that's why I'm here. So let's take a quick look at each party's front-runner groups. First up, the Democrats. There he is, your current president, Joseph R. Biden. And what can I say about Joe Biden that's not already been said? He's old, he's forgetful, he has spent 40% of his current presidency on vacation. He is most likely as corrupt as a Russian oligarch. He's a career politician who's become a millionaire on a government salary. He's a fucking idiot.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to put him... The idea that...
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
His first challenger, Marianne Williamson. What in the absolute fuck is this hippie nutcase doing in politics? She was endorsed by Kim Kardashian in 2014. She once lived in a geodesic dome in New Mexico. She claims Jesus spoke to her directly and told her she needed to write books for a living. She's the leader of her own church, which always works out well in the end.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
This woman is the political equivalent of a fried egg. The Gringo does not endorse this candidate. Our other candidate for the Democratic nomination for president, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Give me a hell yeah!
He is descended from political royalty. His uncle was one of the greatest presidents the country has ever had. His father was Attorney General, U.S. Senator, presidential candidate himself. They were both assassinated, probably by our own government. RFK is opinionated. He pisses off the mainstream media. He likes to use logic and common sense to approach problems. He thinks that the military-industrial complex needs to be taken down. Let's face it, this guy would make an incredible candidate. The Gringo would endorse this candidate except for one thing. He's a Kennedy. The deep state will never allow this, and history may end up repeating itself. The Kennedys are too big of a threat for the media and the swamp to allow, an even bigger threat than Trump. But goddamn, having a Kennedy in the Oval just makes sense. Now for the Republican side. There are a lot more candidates on this side because there is no incumbent. Here's our list of Republican candidates. First up, Doug Burgum, the governor of North Dakota. He's a millionaire. He was a senior vice president for Microsoft. He is the executive of a state where, outside of Fargo, nothing happens. It's like being the president of the North Pole. Nobody gives a shit.
I don't give a shit.
Maybe he's a nice guy. Maybe he's a great governor. He's just not presidential material. Chris Christie, former governor of New Jersey. This fucking guy. He's a loudmouth. He's an opportunist who will badmouth his friends and shake his enemies' hands. In short, his time has come and gone, and he needs to go away too. Chris Christie is not the answer to the problem. He is part of the problem. Larry Elder, a talk radio host.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Doesn't this guy hawk skin cream on Fox News? He's getting less than 1% in the polls. He reminds me of an 80s sitcom character now grown up.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
Will Hurd, former U.S. representative from Texas. I lived in Texas, and I've never heard of this guy or anything he's ever done for the state. From his biography, it says he was employed at the CIA for 9 years. Working for that deep state organization should automatically disqualify you for federal office. Asa Hutchinson, former Arkansas governor. Asa is a career politician. So let's look at his career. He was a member of the House of Representatives.
You know, I'm so sick of Congress I could vomit.
Director of the DEA. How's that whole war on drugs thing going? Undersecretary of Homeland Security and Border Protection.
You serious?
Finally, Governor of Arkansas. Have you ever said to yourself, hey, let's go to Arkansas? No, you haven't, because Arkansas is one of the worst states in the Union. I know, I've been there. So Asa's resume is filled with failure and bad decisions. Just the kind of guy we need in the White House. Perry Johnson, a business owner and author. This guy was disqualified for running for governor of Michigan because his official petition to run had too many invalid signatures.
What? What the fuck?
He's another millionaire running to feed his ego. However, Skeletor here has no chance of winning, and thank God for that. Mike Pence, former Vice President of the United States. This poor bastard. He's probably the most religious of the candidates. His faith drives most of his decisions. Flies love him. And like Chris Christie, he's part of the problem, not the solution. It's okay though. Tucker Carlson took care of him.
You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased. And yet, your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern.
Vivek Ramaswamy, entrepreneur and political commentator. I was into this guy until this.
Loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's joking how everybody's joking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow, snap back to reality.
Tim Scott, a United States Senator from South Carolina. Trump likes him, and he's a moderate conservative who's able to work with Democrats and battle against them. He's a solid candidate, but he just doesn't have the name recognition to get past DeSantis, let alone Trump. So good luck to him. He may make a great Secretary of Commerce or of Labor for the Trump administration, or better yet, he just might be the perfect vice presidential pick to round out the Republican ticket. Corey Stapleton, former Montana Secretary of State. I have no fucking idea who this is. Francis Suarez, the current mayor of Miami. This guy gets the award for the most shallow candidate on the ballot, and that's saying something with this crew. When asked about human rights issues in China, something any presidential candidate should be able to respond to because it's fucking important, he had no clue who the Uyghurs are.
Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man.
Sorry, pal, but if you're not reading the newspaper on a daily basis, you're probably not motivated enough to read the president's daily intelligence briefing. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. Florida loves him, and he should probably stay there. Any other year, the nomination would be his. He's a conservative's wet dream, but he made the strategic miscalculation of running against the orange juggernaut that is Donald Trump. Now, he'll have a good showing, but in the end, he'll be run over by the MAGA train. See you in 2028. I know I'm going to get a lot of crap for this, but here we go. Donald Trump, former U.S. president. And before I get to my candidate, let's address the elephant in the room. He was the 45th president. He was impeached twice. He had a roaring economy. He made the mistake of trusting Dr. Anthony Fauci and shut it all down.
Why the fuck you do that?
The media hates him. SJWs hate him.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president. And Mr. Trump, for the moment, steps away for the inaugural address.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th.
He was crass and he was rude. He started an insurrection to overthrow the government when he lost the election to Joe Biden, allegedly. He thinks ingesting bleach is a reasonable alternative to actual medicine.
Disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds...
He's been indicted on 91 separate criminal complaints since leaving office. He has an insurmountable lead for the nomination, and he's probably going to jail. Is this the best the party of Abraham Lincoln can do? Nikki Haley, former UN ambassador and South Carolina governor. This is my girl. She's not perfect. She doesn't check all the conservative boxes, but she's tough. She's smart, and I've been a fan of hers since she openly criticized her own boss, President Trump, when they dragged their feet on sanctioning Syria for using chemical weapons on their own citizens, including women, children, and babies. She stood up to Putin and the Russian ambassador and called them out publicly. She was the driving force behind pressuring China and North Korea to participate in diplomacy efforts surrounding North Korea's nuclear program. In short, she'll square up with anyone, and she understands the current international world. The Gringo endorses this candidate as the best possible Republican candidate available. All I ask of you is this: know your candidate, know their history, know their opinions on every issue, know their motivations for wanting the job. In the end, you will vote for who you want to be the nominee, and your opinion will probably be different than mine. And that's what makes the United States great. In the past, we've elected tyrants and idiots. We've elected true populists and great men of honor and courage. Men who were great stewards of the office and title of president and showed us exactly what we can be as a nation when the right person meets the right moment in history. Maybe we can all find that again, and we can find solace in our selection. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. As always, for Caesar and for me, from south of the border, salute and away.